Good morning students. Today it is lecture 14 under thermal properties of matter. In the previous class we have learned the concept of melting point, boiling point, as well as we have learned one more called as the latent heat. So these concepts we have learned in the previous class. And just I want to explain about, based on change of state, one graph with explaining all the one concept, melting point, boiling point in that graph. Let me show you that graph. Before going to that, first let me say some of the definitions, because in the board pattern exam you will expect some questions on this chapter based on some definitions, and also some graphs will be asked in your exam. So be aware of these things. I will just tell you what type of questions you expect here. So first let me tell you some definitions here. The first point I want to say about change of state. So you know, according to the change of state, where an object, that is nothing but the molecules will change from one state to another state. Before going to that, you know, there are three properties of matter. One is solid, another is liquid, another is gaseous state. So these three states are there. As and when the state changes from one state to another state without change in temperature, that is called as change of state. So let me write, what is it? Change of state. The transition of state from one form to another state without change in temperature, is called change of state. So the transition of states from one state to another state. For this I will just write the different forms of this change of state. So let me write the one form, from one form to another form. I will just explain how to write this. So the transition of state from one form to another, the common change of states. Change of state as follows. So what is the common change of state you come across here? Let me tell you here. Suppose if I take solid on heating, it gives liquid. Solid on heating means you are raising the temperature. So until it attains maximum temperature, the temperature rises. When once it reaches the temperature, it changes to liquid. At that time, this temperature remains constant. That point is called as change of state. So earlier it was solid, now it has become liquid. So the change of state takes place. For this we call it as melting point of a solid. For this I say melting point of a solid. So this is one process. Second point, I am heating this, I am rising the temperature. So this is the one, second point you have. Next one, you come across, that is nothing but you come across vaporization of the one liquid. Vaporization of liquid means again you are heating it. Vaporization of a liquid. what do you observe here in this? First we have liquid, and this liquid on heating, you are heating to maximum temperature, when once it reaches, it changes to nothing but vapor. For this we call it as the one vaporization of a liquid. The third one, condensation of vapor. You call it as condensation. Condensation of vapor. So when I say condensation, you are decreasing the temperature. So vapor is cooled. Vapor is now cooled. Means you are decreasing the temperature. Vapor is cooled and it becomes liquid. This is condensation of the one vapor, you can say. Again you come across freezing of a liquid. Fourth one, freezing of a liquid. Freezing of a liquid. At that time you are just saying here in this liquid is cooled, it becomes solid. Liquid is cooled, it becomes solid. So these are the common change of state you come across here. Here you are rising the temperature, so solid changes to liquid. Here vaporization of liquid, again liquid is heated, nothing but rising the temperature, changes to vapor. Third one, you are now decreasing the temperature, so condensation of vapor. So earlier you have vapor, that when you cool it, you are decreasing the temperature, it becomes liquid. Similarly, if you have liquid and you are cooling the temperature, you call it as freezing of a liquid. For this we call it as liquid. After cooling, it becomes solid. So these are the different forms you can come across here. Nothing but the common change of state. So this is one you come across here. So here in this, for this melting point you come across here, freezing point of a liquid, vaporization of a liquid, condensation of a vapor. So these are the different forms you come across here. So from this you come across the one word where you come across the latent heat. What is that latent heat means? The amount of heat required to change the state from one form to another form. That is per unit mass of a substance with constant temperature and pressure is called the one latent heat. So let me tell you, now for this we come across the one latent heat word. That is latent heat. What do you mean by latent heat? It is the amount of heat required. The amount of heat. Amount of heat required. Amount of heat required to raise the one, nothing but you can say, that is you want to change the state. Amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of the substance. Required to change the state per unit mass. Per unit mass of a substance. Of mass of substance at constant temperature. At constant temperature. At constant temperature. And also we come across one more word as pressure and pressure. Constant temperature and pressure. And let me tell you what are these things today. Pressure is called change of, that is called latent heat. Latent heat. So please observe the amount of heat. You expect one question here, definition. Define latent heat. And you know the symbol for latent heat is represented by L. So the amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of the substance at is this first one? That is transformation. Transformation. So here it depends on the first one, transformation. That is, what is the transformation? You can say heat of transformation. Second one, mass of the substance. So let me write here itself. This is heat transformation. Heat transformation. Second one, mass of the substance. Mass of the substance. This is represented by M. Heat transformation means it becomes L. So this is L, this is M. So you can write the formula Q is proportional. That is, Q is equal to M to L. This is the one formula you come across for the one latent heat. Right? What is Q? Q is quantity of heat. M is said to be the mass. And L is said to be the heat transformation. Means you are supplying some heat to it. So for that already we have some substance here. You are supplying some heat. The quantity of heat you are supplying, due to which it transfers from one state to another state, and that is called latent heat. Okay. Now we are representing the symbol by Q is equal to M into L. Let me rewrite this formula where L is equal to Q by M. So this latent heat can be represented by the symbol L is equal to Q by M. What is the SI unit for this? The SI unit for this is, where you can write SI unit is joules per kg. This is joules per kg. Also remember here we come across one more called as the one practical unit. This is the SI unit. Sometimes they will have given practical units. You should be aware of these things, because some of the data will be given in terms of the practical unit. That should be known. So the practical unit of latent heat is, practical unit is expressed in calorie per gram. This is the one you come across. So these two units you just remember, the one SI unit as well as the one practical unit of heat. Okay. Now one more we come across, we call it as the one dimensional formula. For the dimensional formula we come across, that is dimensional formula. Dimensional formula where it is L square T raised to minus 2. L square T raised to minus 2. So how did you write this? Very simple point. Just remember, where L is equal to Q by M, you know. Suppose if you forget this formula also, you need not worry. If you remember this formula, L is equal to Q by M. You already know L is equal to Q. Q is the quantity of heat. Heat is a form of energy. That energy is expressed as m to the power of 1 L square T raised to minus 2 within the square bracket divided by M. This M and M gets cancelled here. Therefore, you get this L square T raised to minus 2. Hope you understood what I said. So this you just remember. You expect for objective type questions, and in this you get the definition. What is a latent heat? The latent heat means the amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of the substance at constant temperature and pressure is called latent heat. It depends on two factors. One is heat transformation, another is mass of the substance. So using this, the quantity of heat is always equal to M into L. Therefore, you write this formula. Okay, by looking to this, you write SI unit as well as practical unit, and one more, the dimensional formula. Also, I said how to get dimensional formula. So we prepare to remember these steps. And these are the steps I have written here. Using this, now I will give two more definitions which you come across regularly in your exams. In your board exams, you get the question. What is that? Latent heat of fusion, and one more, latent heat of vaporization. Latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization. Based on these two, you get the question. So I will just give one hint how to write latent heat of fusion of ice. By using that, you are ready to write latent heat of vaporization. Slight changes to be done. If you know that, you can write very easily and comfortably you can write this. So what is it? How to write latent heat of the fusion? And right here itself you will come across this question. Latent heat of fusion. This is very important. These definitions will be asked in exam. This is also asked in exam. This is very important. This point you just make a note here. You get it. Okay. If you remember this step, you are ready to write the definition. Latent heat of fusion. How do you write this? Latent heat of fusion means always we write this symbol by L subscript F. So whenever you come across problems, whenever you get some any questions, they express in terms of symbol L subscript F. It is understood. It is latent heat of fusion. So I write this symbol. It is L subscript F. Okay, this you know. How to define this? It is defined as the amount of heat required to change the state of unit mass of the substance. Which type of substance? Solid substance into liquid substance, that is nothing but into liquid at its melting point. At its melting point is called as latent heat of fusion. So please remember, if you remember, this is enough. The amount of heat required, the amount of heat, the amount of heat required, the amount of heat required to change the state of, to change the state, because I am using this word, to change the state of substance per unit mass, that is per unit mass of, that is of solid, that is per unit mass, that is change the state per unit mass of substance. It will be correct. Change the state per unit mass. Change the state per unit mass of substance. Per unit mass of substance from solid to liquid. So from solid to liquid. From solid to liquid means from solid state to liquid state. So liquid at its melting point. Solid to liquid at its melting point. At its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. Hope you understood what I said. If you remember, this is enough. So in this we are coming the words like change of state, one more solid to liquid at its melting point. If you remember these words, you are ready to write this definition. And this is very, very important. You expect this in the exams. Every time they give two definitions. One is latent heat of fusion and repeated question it is. And one more latent heat of vaporization. If you remember this, you are ready to write vaporization also. There is no difficulty. So let me repeat once again. The amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of the substance from solid to liquid at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. So this point you just remember. Here I just gave the SI unit for this latent heat of fusion along with, already you know the SI unit, the joules per kg. This is joules per kg. But remember in the previous class, somewhere I have written some points where per Kelvin. Slightly you just don't go for it. It is joules per kg itself for latent heat. If you write joules per kg per Kelvin, it becomes specific heat. I have just gone wrong in the previous step. So please, wherever you come across, you just remember that unit is joules per kg. I'll tell you where I have got wrong, you just remember. Now, for this, I write the example here, latent heat of fusion of ice, I'll give the value. So it is, that is LF of ice. I think you know what is LF. LF means latent heat of fusion of ice. It is 80 kilocalorie per gram. The value is 80 kilo, that is 80 calorie, that is nothing but 80 calorie per gram. It is not kilo, 80 calorie per gram. 80 calorie per gram. This is in the practical unit. And if you come across in SI system, for this we have in SI system, it is 3R, or I can say it is LF is equal to 3.33 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. 3.33 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. That is only that is joules per kg. We will never come across Kelvin. So what do you understand by this? Here in this case, what do you understand? Water will be, that is nothing but, you come across here, this is the one point where it requires 3.33 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. So if you get 1 kg of ice and you want to convert, that is 1 kg of this one, nothing but your latent heat of fusion of ice. So that is nothing but, if you get 1 kg of ice, then you want to convert this to water. So this much amount of energy should be provided to it to convert from the one ice to nothing but, that is the one liquid to solid substance. Nothing but you can say fusion. It fuses. Nothing but you can say it is converting into the one fusion at its melting point, I said. So please remember, here it is the one point. So you have ice, solid substance, and water is liquid. So if you are having 1 kg of ice, this much amount of energy should be provided to it to change from ice to water at its melting point. Means that ice, whatever it is there, it will be heated, it will be rising the temperature will be rising, and by the time you are supplying some energy to it, you are supplying some energy to rise, the temperature will be rising. So when you are supplying that amount of energy, when you supply that maximum amount of energy to it, at that time that completely ice will be converted to liquid. What is that amount of heat you are supplying to it? That amount of heat you are supplying for 1 kg of ice is 3.33 into 10 raised to 5 joules of heat is required to convert from ice to water. I think you are able to catch now what it is. So these things you just remember. I have given both the things in practical unit as well as in the SI system. So as and when you come across these things in your problems section, you will be aware of these values. Similarly, one more definition I can explain, the one latent heat of vaporization. So this is the one point, latent heat of vaporization. At that time, how do you define? Similar dynamics, but there you write the symbol LV. At that time, what you are writing? The amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of substance from liquid to vapor. Liquid to vapor at its vaporization is called latent heat of vaporization. Hope you understood what I said. Same definition you have to follow, but here this is the but at its here they have said here melting point, but the word should be changes at its boiling point. Nothing but here when you come across here boiling point, and here this solid will become liquid and this liquid will become vapor, and that is the definition you come across here. So I'll just write the same definition here. You please make a note here how it can be changed. I'll write here this. Okay, so please observe. That is latent heat of vaporization. So please make a note. Latent heat vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization. I have kept this as it is only for your reference. So with the help of this you can write very easily. Latent heat of vaporization. For this symbol is L subscript to V. How do you write? Now this is the amount of heat. The amount of heat. The amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of substance, per unit mass of substance from liquid to vapor, at its boiling point. Boiling point is called latent heat of vaporization. So please here see, this is solid you have. There you have noticed instead of solid you are writing liquid, and here it is liquid here. This liquid is there. You are changing from liquid to vapor. Alright? At its melting point, here it is melting point here, but here it is boiling point. And here it is latent heat of fusion. There it is latent heat of vaporization. So please make the difference. Very simple it is. So if you remember one definition it is enough, but you have to remember this condition. So just remember melting point of solid. If you remember solid is equal to liquid. Again vaporization, liquid is equal to vapor. If you remember this heating by increasing the temperature. So here the amount of heat, that is latent heat of fusion, is represented by symbol LF. Latent heat of vaporization LV. Here the amount of heat required to change the state per unit mass of the substance from solid. But in vaporization, the amount of heat required to change the state of substance per unit mass of the substance from liquid. Please make the difference. Here solid is there, then you come across liquid. And this solid into liquid it is changing, but there it is changing liquid to vapor. Right. At its melting point here it is melting point, but here it is boiling point. Therefore, here this is called as latent heat of fusion, there it is called latent heat of vaporization. I'll write the values for these two. For this, you come across latent heat of vaporization is 540, that is LF. Sorry, LV. It is latent heat of vaporization is 540 kilocalorie per gram. What is this? This is the one called as the practical unit of vaporization. Practical, that is latent heat of vaporization of water it is. So I'll write completely. What is this? This is latent heat of vaporization of water. Latent heat of vaporization of water. Symbol is, that is symbol is how much? It is L subscript to V. So that will be equal to 540 kilocalorie per gram. Okay, but if you write this in SI system, it is 22.6. If you write in SI system, this is practical unit. This is practical unit. Alright, it is 22.6 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. So please observe here latent heat of vaporization of water is 22.6 into 10 raised to 5 joules. What do you mean by this here? You already have the one energy. What is that energy? Heat energy of, that is liquid is converted to vapor. Vapor is nothing but steam. You can also say steam. Right? When you are converting from liquid to steam means what you are doing here, just here remember, heat energy of steam will be for 100 degrees centigrade. You are heating this liquid to 100 degrees centigrade, due to which it will attain boiling point. So 100 degrees centigrade, it converts completely into vapor. So at that time, it requires how much amount of heat? 540 kilocalorie for 1 gram. So 1 gram of water is there with you and you are heating the one, it is rising the temperature, it reaches from 0 degree centigrade of water to 100 degree centigrade. So when it reaches, temperature rises. When once it reaches 100 degree centigrade, it changes state from the one liquid to vapor. So at that time, it will never change as it is. But you are supplying some energy to it, heat energy. How much heat energy you are supplying? For 1 gram of liquid, you are supplying 540 kilocalories of heat is supplied, due to which it converts from water to vapor. Nothing but steam. So that is what you can observe. So here again, if you take 1 kg of water, you are supplying 22.6 into 10 raised to 5 joules. So a very big amount of heat it is. If you supply this much amount of heat, it converts from liquid to vapor, and that is called as latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so in the previous class I gave an example. So steam causes more burn than water. What do you mean by this? Suppose if you have two things, water at 100 degrees centigrade. So water at 100 degrees centigrade, steam, it is 100 degrees centigrade. You will have. So if I say liquid, only water is there, water and one more steam. This is at 100 degrees centigrade. This is water at 100 degrees centigrade. If you say, what do you mean by this here? Steam at 100 degrees centigrade, it will be having more heat compared to water. It will be having more heat. That is, only hot water will be there at 100 degrees centigrade. If you say, if you are saying steam at 100 degrees centigrade, so when it is changing the state, water has been changed to the one steam. It has already changed the state. So here we said water is boiling. Only temperature is rising. We said at that time change of state was constant. When once the change of state occurs, temperature remains same. But remember here, water at 100 degrees centigrade, whatever you have, and the one boiling water, but that water has been changes the state means it will reach steam. So steam at 100 degrees centigrade will be more heat compared to water at 100 degrees centigrade. So when the one steam is fallen on your hand, you will get severe burns on it rather than boiling water on your hand. So when the one steam is put in on your one hand, what happens? Severe burns will be there, more injuries will be there. So because the steam at 100 degrees centigrade is having this much amount of heat energy in it, due to which you will have severe burns on your hand. That is what you have to remember here. Okay, so this concept you just remember. And one more point, water freezes. I said water freezes at this position. Means you want to say 80 kilocalories of heat is given to it. So water freezes to ice means when you want to say 80 calories of the one heat is required to freeze it. What do you mean by this at this position? Atmosphere remains warm during the one snowfall. So atmosphere remains warm. Atmosphere remains warm during snowfall. I can give this example. Right? But here, for this I give here, that is steam will give more, more injuries. That is more severe injuries I can say. Very best is severe injuries rather than water. Water at 100 degrees centigrade. Steam at which position? At 100 degrees centigrade. So these examples you come across in your day-to-day life. So remember how physics is useful in examples, day-to-day examples. So this you have already seen, and also remember during snowfall. So wherever the snowfall is there at that time, you can observe atmosphere remains, that is nothing but here. You can say that atmosphere remains warm. Let me write this is warm during snowfall. Means you feel warm. You need not think that snow will be made up of ice. You will feel very cold. No. The atmosphere itself will become warm during the snowfall. This point just remember, because here this amount of energy is being absorbed. So right. So this is how you can observe the one condition for latent heat of vaporization and latent heat of the one called as diffusion. Right. Now one more point I want to say here. By using this, I'll just draw the graph. You get one graph in the exam. They may give for 2 marks or sometimes for 3 marks. Draw the graph, that is temperature versus heat energy. They will give the example for temperature versus heat energy. I'll just show the graph how the phase changes can be shown in that, and how water has been changed to the one vapor. Earlier we have ice, and that ice has been changed to vapor. Different states will show in one graph itself. All these states are shown in one graph. Okay, let me show how it is. So please observe the one graph. Let me draw. It's a very important graph. You will expect this in the exam. Very simple graph it is, but you should notice the changes. How much you have to remember the things, and all labeling things should be there in the graph. You should not draw only the single line, and you should not get the one answer. Wherever you draw the graph, you have to label it. If you label it, you will get complete marks. So please remember the one, how to draw the graph and how to label it and how change everything. If you see the graph, everything can be understood very easily without any difficulty. For even any of the one student or maybe any person who reads the graph will be understood all the concept in the graph itself. So preferably we go for graph. So let me draw graph. That is temperature versus heat energy. Heat energy for water. Temperature versus heat energy for water. That graph we are drawing here. So that graph you have to be very careful how to draw this. So please let me tell you how it is. Temperature, which is along y-axis. Heat energy is along x-axis. So let me draw this graph. This is y-axis. This is x-axis. Right? This is x-axis. This is y-axis. Here this is temperature. Temperature. It is in degree centigrade. Right? This is along this axis. And this is heat energy. Heat energy. This you express in joules. It is expressed in joules. This is along x-axis and this is along y-axis. And how you just draw this one? First let me tell you, this is, you will take always when you draw the graph, this is taken as origin. But today I will just take this is the origin. This portion is origin. Let me say this is minus 10 degrees centigrade, because above this will be positive values, below this is negative values. So I have written here, one is 0, another is minus 10 degrees centigrade. One more labeling I will show here, very simple. This point is taken as 100 degrees centigrade. Enough. These points are enough to write the graph. You need not write everything here. If you just show 0, one more minus 10 degrees centigrade, another is 100 degrees centigrade. And how do you show this one? Remember, the one ice which is at minus 10 degrees centigrade means it is having very less temperature. So what is it? It is nothing but in the form of, it is fusion wave, you can say. So let me show how it is. Here, this is the one state here. This is minus 10 degree I said here, right, like this. Up to here, it is changing to here. You are raising the temperature. You are just increasing the temperature, due to which what happens, earlier it becomes minus 10, again yesterday I gave an example, minus 10 degrees centigrade. Second one minus 9. If you just give energy minus 9 degrees centigrade. Again you are increasing minus 8, minus 6, minus 7, minus 6 like this up to 0 degree it will come. So at this position it will be solid itself. Solid. This is ice. Right? This ice is this position. So now we have been increased the temperature. Temperature has been increased from 0, that is minus 10 degrees centigrade to 0. Up to here what it is? It was solid. Nothing but ice. So when once it becomes here, now this will be changing here the state. When you say change of state means it will be only the one line which is along parallel to the x-axis. That heat energy remains constant. What happens here? Phase changes. What do you mean by phase change? It changes from solid to liquid or liquid to gases. So the one state changes. For that we also call it as phase change. So that phase change takes place here. What happens here? It becomes melting. So this is melting. Here what is it? Phase change. Here phase changes. Hope you understood. Up to here it is. When the phase changes means temperature remains constant. So please observe. This will never show rising temperature. Temperature remains constant. At this position it has changed from solid to liquid. The phase has been changed. Temperature remains constant. Okay. Now when it reaches here again, if you are rising again temperature for this. So what is the state? State is called as solid state. Now I am increasing. Increasing up to what? Up to 100 degrees centigrade. So this when solid will change to liquid. When once it is rising the temperature, up to here temperature has been raised. Now what happens? When once it reaches 100 degree, it has reached boiling point of water. At boiling point of water, again the one phase changes takes place. Here phase change. So here what happens? This is boiling point. This is boiling point. Here this is melting point. Right? So here when the phase will remains constant means what? Here liquid is there. Now that liquid is completely changing to steam. At that time state changes. So we call it as phase change. There what happens? Here it becomes constant. So that is nothing but called as phase change means what happens here means vaporization. So that vaporization takes place. Here what happens? Conversion of water. Conversion of water to steam. To steam takes place at this position. Conversion of water to steam takes. So we call it as this is vaporization. This is vaporization. We call this as vaporization. So boiling point has reached and that is vaporization. So now what happens? Now it changes from here to this is vapor state. So here this is solid state, liquid state, that is vapor state. So here what happens here? Vapor means nothing but steam. You can remember this is also called as steam. So here we are supplying some amount of energy I said. What amount of energy are supplying for this? We are supplying here, if you are writing in terms of calories, for this solid to liquid gas change means that is latent heat of fusion which is 80 calorie per gram. Or if you are writing in terms of joules, how much you are supplying? If it is 3.33, that is LF is equal to 3.33 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. I hope you understood what I said. This amount of energy is required for it to convert from this to this. Right? Now, latent heat of vaporization. What is it? LV. LV is equal to how much is applying for this LV? Latent heat of vaporization. It is 540 kilocalories per gram. It is 540 kilocalories per gram. Or it is LV is equal to 22.6 into 10 raised to 5 joules per kg. So this much amount of energy is supplying due to which it changes from the one liquid to vapor state. That is called vaporization. So that point we have shown in the figure. So this is called as solid phase. This is solid phase. This is liquid phase. This is vapor phase. What do you mean by phase? Phase means change of state. Vapor is also called as steam. So these are the things you have observed here. So in this, the one temperature, you have observed how changes takes place. Here temperature rises, temperature rises. Here also temperature rises. But remember, when you are showing this one, your temperature remains constant. So you have shown along the range parallel to the x-axis, means no change in temperature. At that position, the one phase changes. Here, again, you have shown the one line where it is movement called as, which is parallel to x-axis, means heat energy. What happens here? It is parallel to the x-axis. So here what happens? No change in temperature, only the state changes from liquid to vapor. So every concept is explained completely in this graph. So this, remember, you expect for sometimes 3 months, draw the temperature versus heat energy graph for water. Or they may just ask you for 2 marks also, sometimes for 3 marks. But as and when you draw the graph, you have to label it compulsory. You have to mention what is x-axis, what is y-axis along with units, and also in between also you have to show the labeling. These concepts you have to be familiar and be prepared for it. It's very important and learn the things better. Okay, so today I just explained latent heat. Along with that, in that common there is change of states I explained, and also we have learned the concept of latent heat of vaporization, latent heat of fusion along with SI units. Also you are familiar for latent heat, the dimensional formula, SI unit, practical unit, and finally we have learned one graph. So all concepts are shown in this graph. And I explained that how the one severe burns takes place, what is the value for this. Because of this reason, the more amount of heat you get severe burns, I said, let me tell you how it is. This I said already. One more we come across, the concept of the boiling. So how does it take place in pressure cooker, all those things? Let us explain in the next class. For this I will explain melting point of ice. What happens when pressure changes? Melting point of freezing point of water. That is nothing but freezing point there at that time. What happens to pressure? When pressure increases, pressure decreases, what happens? These things are explained